day to you, sir, and welcome to Romance of the Three Games, or Romance of the Two Games as it should really be known from now on, because we're just going to be showing footage from Empires and Extreme mode, showing basically how those campaigns ended, since I regarded the main body of the series to be the part showing you a Musu mode campaign. So yes, for those who are interested, let us continue on with Lubu's Extreme mode. We're on mission 19. And now the highest exchange rate on today's stage is actually Han Zhong, so we're going to be picking our good old home province again. It says there's a supply unit moving secret goods as well, so we'll see if we can find that little one. Of course, because it's the home province, we've got cheaper prices in the shop, so I might as well buy up everything. You can see I have over 80,000 gold, which is basically more than you'd ever need, so I was pretty willing to spend it, which is why I'm just buying up this and that. I actually decided to buy some health in a rare twist, because Zhang Liao, my combat companion, is on the verge of death, so I thought I'd be kind to him and feed him a little bit of health. Before the battle started, I wanted to look at my equipment just to remind myself of what I did actually have equipped, because for the last few stages I haven't even been aware of what items I actually had. I reminded myself it looked like it was the best setup, of course, so nothing to change. The objective here is to defeat Jia Xui, who's somewhere at the top of the map. We have one allied unit, Fushi Ren, and a whole bunch of enemies to take down. Nothing particularly special, they're all just sitting around Han Zhong, and it's time for us to go and clear them up. So first of all I decided to go to the west, go into this little corner where there were two enemy officers hanging about. I entered the enemy camp and there were tons of enemies rushing out, including Ma Zhong, the first officer of interest, so it's time to take him down. Lubu using his characteristic killing everything strategy, but still trying to actually focus on the officer. Zhang Liao in the background doesn't do as well, he actually starts to die. However, he doesn't die, he still seems to survive even after the fight's over. Let's see if he'll survive for the rest of the stage. So we killed Ma Zhong and I picked up that attack ×2. Now I wanted to get over to the next officer as fast as possible so I could use the attack ×2 to take him out really fast. They're saying that I did waste some time taking out these little peons here, but here we go. It's Mi Fang in the background here. Let's see how quickly I can take him out. The first combo connects and almost kills him completely with the first combo, which would have been very satisfying, but unfortunately I had to hit him just one more time, and there we go, Mi Fang is down. So the bottom left hand corner of the map is secure. Of course I'm opening pots wherever I go in between the shots I'm cutting here. I came up to fight with Dark Yao, but then a supply unit was detected, the supply unit mentioned in the description. So I thought, well, let's go and see what it was. There were two guys, both supply captains, wandering around. So I need to take them out to see what sort of sweet nectar they're actually carrying. I think Zhang Liao actually kill-stole me there. One's carrying an attack up +1, and one was carrying an item. It's a little bit hard to get because it spawned on top of that pile of rubble. I thought it's possibly going to be glitched out and I could never get it, but as you saw I did manage to. So now I headed back to Da Qiao. He must have been very confused at me showing up and running away a few minutes ago. And it's time to take her out. I have Fushi Ren, the one allied officer, helping me, so it's actually going incredibly well. As well as Zhang Liao there, who's getting really aggressive, just completely destroying Da Qiao. Perhaps he has something about cute little girls, I don't know, some sort of trauma from a past life. So there we go, she went down. Opened a gate which allowed me to access the rest of the map. Headed up through said gate. And we had a couple of enemy officers to face. One was Zhang Fei, who was standing here, and the enemy commander Jia Xui is actually rushing down the map towards me, so in just a moment he's going to enter this melee as well. And to begin with, we had to deal with Zhang Fei and his massive blob of troops. The troops aren't an issue, because you can see I'm just using my kill everything attack, which is the second level charge, combined with the lightning orb to just completely destroy them. Very well timed Musu there, just managed to avoid Zhang Fei's combo. I'm constantly trying to draw little elements of his troops away so I can take them out in a more isolated sense. Zhang Fei himself here seems to be resisting me killing him, which is quite mean. Luckily I do a very well-timed block to stop his Musu. I was a little bit worried about Zhang Liao there in the background because he's about to engage with the enemy commander, but then the enemy commander decides to come over and attack me, so it wasn't so bad. My plan now is to try and get Fushi Ren involved in this fight. He was just standing over here, so I thought if I stood near him, yeah, he would be attracted into the fight, and he actually was. I was quite happy with that. I thought it wouldn't work at all. I assumed he would refuse to go north of the gate he was attacking. But no, he's in the fight as well, so he's going to start distracting Jia Xui while I take out his bodyguards here. And of course attempt to get at these pots, which contain nothing. This is actually a very unlucky week for Lu Bu in terms of finding health. I was, well, looking for health as usual for about 99% of the time spent playing the stage, and so far I haven't found anything. Actually, if I remember correctly, we'll not find any health at all in this stage. It's going to be very disappointing. But of course we've got 2 extreme mode stages this week, so maybe I'll be a bit more lucky in the next stage. You saw me take on Zhang Fei there, and he is now down. Now I moved on to start actually killing the rest of the enemy officers who were around the map before I went back to where I just was to kill Jia Xui. Here's Song Shan, and he went down instantly because I had that attack times 2 as I engaged with him. An extremely easy kill. Moving on, there was one more. It's Niu Fu here. Smashing through his archers, and now I'm sneaking around the corner of this little gate just so I wouldn't be hit by his arrows as Niu Fu come down to fight me. However, he actually just ran back to where his archers were, so I'm going to have to deal with those archers anyway. I still have an attack times 2, so my first combo on him does double damage, which is pretty sweet. However, you can see I'm having trouble with these arrows that are coming in. Because they can hit me during the combo doesn't deflect them or anything. Plus, if they hit me just before I use a combo, it actually cancels it, which means it can be hard to set your attacks up. So very bothersome. This late in extreme mode, the archers are becoming a huge threat. They can take off a lot of health because they just keep hitting you without barely you even noticing that they're hitting you. Oh god, speaking of damage, there goes Zhang Liao. He died while I was looking for pots, which I thought was quite sad. He basically sacrificed his life just to give me the opportunity to try and extend my own, and of course I didn't find any, so it was a wasted sacrifice. Anyway, I moved back down, and Jia Xui went down pretty easy. And there we go. Lu Bu has passed another stage, made a slight loss of health. Not too significant, however, I did lose Zhang Liao. So, not very happy about that, but I am happy about getting this Lightning Orb level 4. That's a really good item drop. We also got an upgrade to the Iron Man armor, pretty good, and level 20 wing boots, kind of valuable, but not useful at all. Oh well. And a little bit of experience that's going to convert to a little bit of money. Useless weapon experience. And yeah, we've got enough money to basically make back all the money I spent on that stage. How neat. So now for the second set of footage today, we're going to be looking at Yanmei's Empire. First, as usual, we're picking a policy. A variety of actually quite good policies were available, but I ended up going for this one with Zhu Rong to receive reinforcements in the next battle and get a few troops for all of my officers. I was kind of more interested by the reinforcement aspect anyway, because Liu Bei has some really good officers, so having them show up to aid me in the next battle will help. I could have gone for Yuan Shao's home territory, but I decided to go for his second territory instead to make things easier. And to make things more exciting, I'm actually going to play as Zhu Rong, and a little change of format from the usual, always playing as Yanmei strategy. Now the last time I deviated from that format I was completely destroyed, but this time I think Zhu Rong is actually a more powerful character than Yanmei, so it should be absolutely fine, except for my own lack of expertise, but we'll see how that goes in the battle.
What we've got. Attack!
An awe-inspiring speech from Zhao Yun. Let's see what Zhu Rong has to offer.
Get in our way and you are as good as dead.
Well, that's a little bit better. 2 not particularly inspiring speeches for 2 very tiny armies. Anyway, let's see what sort of weapon Zhu Rong has. She has this level 10 insane steampunk mecha boomerang thing, so it looks pretty damn good. But to make her a bit better, I'm going to load her down with items. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of the good items available, so I've given her Nanman armor, 7-star sash for extra luck, and wing boots for extra jump. So I'm going to be one jump-happy, lucky Zhu Rong today. I wonder if that's going to help. Let's have a look at the morale balance as the battle begins. Our own side, mix of 3 to 5 in terms of the morale. The enemy, as usual these days, seems to have a little bit more kind of 5, 6, 7 range. So from the start we're at a little bit of a disadvantage, mainly just because we have fewer troops. But of course we have Liu Bei's reinforcements coming to bolster out our numbers, so that's going to massively boost our troop bar and change the morale balance at some point during the battle. So to open, I moved down towards this archway where the enemies were coming towards me and started trying to work out Zhu Rong's moveset again. Get a little bit destroyed just as I try and work out the controls, and then I remember that it's kind of lots of attacks which are semi-ranged or have use in some way the fact that she can throw her boomerang and I kind of just remembered it once I realised the concept of how the attacks work. Yanmei is pretty much doing the battle for me at the moment, because I am just getting completely owned. I've only got 1 kill. Whoa, that body of enemy troops just exploded and took me out. I think I was just a victim of Yanmei's tendency to kill her own side there. Quite interesting. Now I come to save Yanmei from Zhao Yun, but then Zhao Yun starts targeting me, and you can see I'm getting really destroyed. Yanmei saves me again there. These lieutenant generals getting in the way aren't helping. Oh no, one of them's Fu Shiren. I wonder if he'd be offended, but I thought he was a lieutenant general for a second there. So I'm already on to red health, able to trigger my true Musu, which actually isn't very good. Zhurong's Musu is much better in Dynasty Warriors 5, where it doesn't make the enemies fly back upon impact, because it means you could hit them more than once with it. So I was actually quite dissatisfied with how it worked in 4. I forgot it was different. So I almost died, but I was going to fall back, but then Fu Shiren kind of isolated himself a bit there. Gave me a chance to take him out. Zhao Yun actually ran away because his health got too low, so I don't have to worry about Zhao Yun anymore, but instead Zhen Ji's come into the mix. Balancing things on my side, we have Yu Mi there in the mix now, blocking the archway up with his horse. There's Zhen Ji. Didn't really notice her like slip in there, but she was just somehow amongst the crowd. And now Zhen Ji is completely destroying me. It'd be very kind if she gave me a chance to actually touch the ground, but no, she's not going to. Now she very strategically dodges my Musu and then blocks the final attack of it. Extremely good AI from Zhen Ji there. She's still hitting me. I can't get a hit on her because she is too ready to block. And I'm just getting completely juggled. Now I thought I'm actually going to die, so I decided to run back to my base and grab some health here. Zhen Ji follows me, which is useful because now I can fight her in my own base. So I'm going to have the base guards around here to help me out. And that actually made things very easy. I ended up pretty much destroying Zhen Ji. I'll cut out that fight because you're going to see another fight with her later on. Now she drops a full health recovery item. It's just a giant chicken that Zhurong just stuffs into her mouth and feels instantly revitalized. I'm sure it's delicious. So now I head back to the archway I was in before, and I can see that Zhao Yun is fighting with Yanmei on the other side. I decided that I needed to go and help them out. Of course there are all these archers around the outside, so I thought I'd take out a couple of them before actually joining the melee. Forced to use my Musu to avoid getting hit there, but of course I can get the Musu back really fast with Zhurong because her attacks hit so many enemies simultaneously. It's really good for charging up your Musu bar. So here we go, fighting Zhao Yun for a second time. He does a very cheeky jumping back attack thing that somehow gets around my guard, then massively combos me, getting completely owned here. And he's got so many guards and troops around him, I'm getting kind of swamped. Can't even see where he is. Wildly use my Musu, but loads of the enemies just block it, which is very inconvenient. Try to run away, get hit by an arrow, which allows me to get hit by Zhao Yun's combo, who then combos onto me, and I keep getting completely owned. And now I have no health again, how great. Back to red health. Now I discover this attack, which is really cool. It's her second level charge. It kind of just keeps throwing the boomerang over and over again, and actually has a fairly long range, so you can actually get some really good damage in little archways like that. Ma Chao captures an enemy base, so finally a bit of good news. The battle has been pretty stagnant so far, haven't made any progress. But with that capturing of the base, things have gone a bit more towards our side. So now I have Zhao Yun in our base. Our base guards are going to, in theory, help me out, but you can see that Zhao Yun is actually killing quite a lot of those guards. Those archers are doing some point-blank firing into Zhao Yun, which is pretty damn useful because it does distract him. Zhao Yun starts hitting me. Oh, Yanmei dies back over in that archway. I think she was killed by Zhao Yun's troops, so that was disappointing. If I'd killed Zhao Yun a little bit faster, that wouldn't have happened, sorry. Zhao Yun hits me with his true Musu, lying on the floor allows me to avoid the last blow of it. He almost kills me, but then I trigger my true Musu and take him out. The good thing about Zhurong's true Musu is that it uses the element of her weapon, which means the true Musu is summoning down lightning blasts, as well as doing its regular damage, which includes fire blasts. So it's a nice double elemental attack there, which I haven't actually seen on any of the other characters' Musus so far. So now I moved to the east, took out Fan Neng, if you saw there, and captured a base. And then I moved east further. Zhen Ji was defeated by Yu Mi down in the left hand corner. Very good job from Yu Mi. I believe Yu Mi actually also got 50 kills around the same time, as did Ma Chao. So the enemy officers, oh, and Yanmei as well there. Yes, the ally officers, sorry, are doing a very good job at actually defeating the enemies, even while I'm not. Incredibly helpful. So I captured another base, and met Zhao Yun for the second time, running back, I think, to defend that base from me, but getting there too late. So now it's time for me to try my hand at defeating Zhao Yun again. of course, by this point in the stage, I've actually got a little bit more experience at using Zhurong, so I'm a little bit more apt at this crowd control here, using the lightning ability and throwing the boomerang to basically keep all these groups of bodyguards in check, and also do a little bit of knock-on damage to Zhao Yun, who kind of takes splash damage from where his troops are being hit. We hit into a weapon deadlock, and I managed to win. Very good news. So I'm going to get a free combo on Zhao Yun. That was Zhurong's 5th level charge, which basically blows everything up and strikes lightning, of course, because the elemental attack, which is very good. We saw there that Shen Pei, one of the enemy officers, was been permanently defeated. Down in the enemy main camp, actually, where my allies are already attacking their main camp. It's pretty sweet. Zhao Yun gets taken down when I pick up a Musu 10 seconds and spam my free Musu on him. Oh, Yanmei takes over a base. You can see there's so many messages talking about the successes of ally officers. I was incredibly proud of the Yanmei army today. It was doing extremely well. So I managed to capture Sun Shangjiang, one of the enemy's best officers there, when she wandered out into our territory, so that was pretty sweet. So now I'm moving south to start going towards the enemy main camp. Yanmei's up to 100 kills there, very good. About to capture the penultimate base here, I think. Fushi Ren in the enemy main camp is defeated. As I do this, more good news regarding the actions of our allies. So here we are inside the enemy main camp. Zhao Yun was there again, but he went down really easy, and I had Yanmei there to help me out, defeating him, as you can see. So now I just had to push towards the enemy main camp, and as I did, I encountered Zhenji. Unfortunately for her, I found an attack ×2 just before we started fighting, so I'm going to absolutely destroy her now. Plus I'm doing a little bit better job at actually getting around her guard by sort of attacking to the side. Although that time I think it was that major behind Genji that broke her guard for me. So Genji's down. I got full health, attack ×2, defense ×2. Pretty good condition to go and take the enemy main camp, and it went down super easy. And there we go, the battle was won. And as you saw, it was actually really the efforts of the allied officers that won us that battle. I took out a fair number of officers and 2 or 3 bases. But loads of officer kills and base captures were done by the other officers, particularly Ma Chao, Yanmei and Yu Mi. So a very good performance. Quite heavy casualties though, as we saw there. I guess that's the price we pay for letting the AI do most of the combat. Now we captured Sun Shangjiang and Shen Pei. Not really interested in Shen Pei. Sun Shangjiang, maybe that's more interesting, because I do seem to be assembling a cast of female characters in my empire, so I thought, you know, let's just have another female character to have the opportunity, and I had enough money by far, so it was fine. Throwing Shen Pei away and keeping the rest of the money for next term. So we'll see how I use it in the next episode. Sun Shangjiang leveled up immediately, and Yu Mi levels up to level 4. I didn't know he was only level 3. I think he's achieving all these things at such a low level. Well, we'll see how he does now he's at level 4. So next up, it's mission 20 of Xtreme mode, and you might remember that every 5 missions there's an extra hard mission that comes along in Xtreme mode. So this is going to be an extra hard one with a 4.1 exchange rate, taking place in Han Zhong again. So this must be like the 10th level that's taken place on Han Zhong. Anyway, of course, because of the cheaper prices, I am buying up the shop, except for the ointment, because I didn't really need that. But yeah, I got elite troops, and I got all the extra time, Eye of Heaven, Plane Harness, and a little bit of attack up there. I'm supporting my home economy. So let's have a look at the lightning orb. It is now level 4, as we saw earlier in this episode. So this basically just means the lightning strikes from his kill everything attack are going to do more damage. Pretty sweet. So just like the last Kingdom Defense battle, we have 3 allied officers to save, and there's a bunch of enemy officers trying to take them out. This time there are 3 rather than just 1 enemy officers, so that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. Plus this time, loads of enemy officers are going to show up as reinforcements. Last time I complained that the Kingdom Defense mission seemed really easy. This time I think I'm going to have the opposite complaint. Let's see how things go. Right at the start, the famous general of Yuan Shao, Wen Shou, basically spawned right next to me. So right from the off I'm fighting with him and some of his troops. The lightning orb doing its job there, completely dispersing all of his guards and troops. Although he got a combo on me there. Very annoying. Although I shouldn't complain about the enemy hitting me, because this stage is pretty much defined by the enemy hitting me. Enjoy seeing that blue life bar while you can, guys. Anyway, let's be less foreshadowing and talk about what's actually going on. You can see I'm killing Yan Liang, who's one of Yuan Shao's other famous generals. So we've killed Wen Shou and Yan Liang, sorry. That's pretty much what Guan Yu was famous for in the Three Kingdoms stories. Now Lu Bu's got that same fame. I stole his horse, and now I need to go over to save some of my allied officers. So of course I can't go over without first checking these boxes. Some fresh arrows. A supply unit carrying valuable items appeared, so I knew they were just going to go towards the enemy commander, so I didn't really go to look for them. The bandits that I hired a few stages ago are destroyed behind me, very annoying. Oh, and then a few moments later, the conscripts I hired, I think possibly last week on the Romance of the Three Games, are destroyed. So my troops are being annihilated in this stage, just because the enemy has some morale 7 units hanging about that are just taking out all of my guys. So over with the officers I'm trying to save, there were 2 enemy officers hanging around. Both of them were actually subordinate officers of other units, so it's not actually going to save my allies by killing them, but it's going to at least extend their lifetime. I think actually both of them in fact there, weren't killed by me. One was killed by the lightning and one may have been killed by some of the AI troops in the background while I wasn't noticing. Anyway, after this began a battle with me, Mi Fang and Yuan Shao. And you can see here I'm getting totally owned by them. And my elite troops, which were way off in the corner of the map, got destroyed. Don't know what they were doing out there, but it was quite annoying. So yes, this battle between me, Yuan Shao and Mi Fang lasted a very long time, perhaps about 10 minutes in total. So I'm just showing you a few little bits of it. And it's characterized by me getting totally owned. You can see it happening now. Yuan Shao is stunning me with his multiple combos attacks and getting hit by arrows. It's almost hard to see with their arrows coming in from the side and chipping away at my health as this battle is going on. Taking more blows, frantically trying to block, but they're just so aggressive, these enemy officers. Plus I was finding it really hard to hit them. The AI's blocking ability has gotten so good at this late stage in the game, it's almost impossible to actually use my kill everything attacks in the exploitative way that I usually do. I was quite happy to see enemy troops coming over, because this means that I can use my lightning ability to do splash damage to these officers and paralyze them, which is pretty much the only opportunity I'm going to get to do damage to them. Although there I get a very nice Musu on them as well. But I'm getting sandwiched between Yuan Shao and Mi Fang. Yuan Shao paralyzes me again. I mean, do you remember what my health bar was like at the start of this stage? It's easily dropped by 50% at this stage, easily. But of course we must be optimistic. Maybe it won't drop any far. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay, maybe it will drop further. Oh, here we go. Finally get a chance to kill Mi Fang. So that's one of these 2 troublesome officers dispatched. I'm going to take out the last of these troops around Yuan Shao. You can see that whenever I start even moving my weapon, Yuan Shao instantly goes to the block post. Oh god. He starts doing some fancy footwork and some jump attacks and just keeps hitting me, chipping away at that health bar yet again. I started to get a little bit more block conscious, just because I was getting hit so much. Oh god, but I took his Musu a bit there. Around this stage, in this level, I was thinking, oh, I'm just going to take out Yuan Shao, that'll end the stage, and it won't matter I've lost loads of health, because I'm going to kind of cut my losses, so to speak. But of course, I forgot to check the objectives of this stage, and I forgot that in the Kingdom Battle stage, the objective isn't to defeat the enemy commander, it's to defeat all enemy officers. Which means my sort of rush to defeat Yuan Shao there doesn't end the stage. Look, the stage is continuing. I was actually like really freaked out, like, oh god, the game's glitched. But then I realised, oh yes, you have to kill all the officers. How annoying, so I'm going to have to grab a horse and go and kill them. One of them was Xiao Fan, who actually was just standing right next to me. And he went down really easy, so that wasn't so much of a problem, taking him out, although his guards getting some cheeky hits on me there as I try and take them out. The other 2 enemy officers were miles away, but as I started riding up to find them, enemy reinforcements arrived. How inconvenient. So I have to start doing battle with them, and who is it? It's Meng Huo, the guy who tried to invade my kingdom last time. Incredibly cheeky that he would come along again, thinking he deserves to have a second shot at taking the kingdom. Lost a little bit of health during this conflict with him. So let's see how I go as the conflict resolves. Oh god, oh god. No, no. He gave me a massive combo. Now I'm into the yellow health, all because I did that foolish ground pound, which he managed to block and left me in a vulnerable position. So I'm just trying to take him out. We're basically both blocking each other's attacks constantly. He kind of runs away a bit there, and I didn't know why. It was good because it kind of opened things up a bit, and now he tries to use his announce and gets taken down. That is a good way to defeat the AI, it seems, to try to tempt them into using an announce by overly blocking. Because an announce is the AI's response to trying to defeat a block. So now Zhang Bao, one of the other enemy officers, has been defeated. He went down damn easy. There was just one enemy officer left. It was Dailai Dongshu. Now to get to him I had to go through this huge horde of enemies, including sorceresses. I mean, that's the last thing I need at this stage. I've already lost 75% of my health, and now I'm facing a massive unit of enemy troops of various kinds. There's sorceresses in there, there's archers, there's an officer somewhere in this mix, and I'm trying to kill. It was very frustrating indeed. But actually I'm doing very well, unusually. Managing to whip my way through these troops, and Jia Xui there isn't really being very aggressive, so luckily I'm managing to take them out. I'm just about out of range of those sorceresses, but it's always nerve-wracking to see the sorceresses there, because you just know they're just going to do something stupid. You're going to get frozen to the ground, or poisoned or something, and suddenly your health will just disappear. Managed to get through that without dying. I thought, well, now let's take on Dailai Dongshu, but he had so many sorceresses here, you can see. Lu Bu's old bane. It seems that every time I do badly in a stage, that stage also happens to contain tons of sorceresses, and I don't think that's a coincidence. Right, so now I've got myself away from the sorcerers a bit, and I've got Dailai off his elephant, which he was for some reason rolling around upon. I don't think it's fair that he gets an elephant. Oh god, he managed to do a little chip at me there, and I'm down into the red health. So I think this is the second or third time Lu Bu has been this close to death in this campaign. It's just especially unfair because I started with so much health. To be with such a low health bar now just seems ludicrous. It just means I'm going to have to blow all my money next time getting the health back, I guess. And of course, I spent the whole stage looking for health as I usually do, and didn't find anything for a second stage in a row. So we've had 2 stages on Han Zhong's map this week, and neither of them provided me with health, which is outrageous. It seems that my home province has become very infertile to meat buns. One upside of this battle is that all 3 of the officers I was trying to protect actually somehow survived, despite constantly struggling and losing morale throughout the stage. That just means I'm going to get a massive cash bonus, which is useful because, as I just said, I'm going to need some cash to buy back some health. The only item I got was a very rubbish Nanman armor. I didn't get the rare item that was being taken by the supply unit because during my fight with Yuan Shao, the supply officer escaped while I was trying not to get killed. Tons of money, almost up to 100,000 gold. Very rich, but poor in health. Lu Bu is going to have to be a little bit more careful next time. In the next episode, it's going to be a double Empires mode, just like today was double Xtreme mode. And basically I'll be alternating between them until both series have come to an end. So tune in next time for more Dynasty Warriors action on Romance of the 3 Games.